tonight. We would just ask a couple of things. One is turn off your cell phone. Second is, if you're going to speak, please speak into the microphone. If you do have any graphics you want to show, if you set them on the table, there's an overhead camera. Okay, so our first item on the agenda is DRB-09-18, which is Spring Clearwire at 550 Sproul Road in Villanova. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Stephen Kinley, and I'm here with William Stone, and we're from ACO Property Advisors, and we're representing Sprint and Clearwire in their site acquisition and zoning work throughout the majority of the Philadelphia market in Pennsylvania. We're here tonight as we are looking at installing 3 dish antennas, actually 2 dish antennas and 1 flat panel antenna on the existing cell tower located at 555 Sproul Road. Okay. Excellent. Actually, let me go to this. Perfect. Thank you. This page right here. Thank you. If you go to page A1, that's probably the most descriptive of what we're actually going to be installing on the site.
Is this basically just another branch that you're putting on the tree?
You know, we're really not even doing that. We're attaching to an existing branch. If you look at this A1 site here, you can see these antennas are already existing, the 12 here, and we're actually adding 3 dishes on there.
Okay. And the dishes are how big?
The 2 dishes are 2 foot, so they're about that big, and at 143 feet in height is where they'll be.
Okay.
You're really not going to see much of anything up there. The box, pizza box antenna is 20 inches by 16, so that's even smaller.
Okay. So in your elevation, or the page S1, where it shows the elevation of the tree,
yes,
they're just up there in the top. Is that where it is?
It's actually this. It's actually at the second rad center. So there's another carrier at the top.
Okay, but toward the top.
Correct.
Okay. And is there any reason to think we're going to see this any more than we see anything else in there? Or?
No, there shouldn't be any.
Okay.
It's not going to stick out farther than anything that's already there. It's just adding a couple more antennas.
Okay. Do you guys have any comments?
I had none.
No?
No, wouldn't know where to begin to comment.
Okay. Not the frequency or anything?
Yeah, I have a lot of questions about my reception.
Okay. Well, if we don't have any comments, does anybody want to make a motion?
I'll do it. Make a motion that in the matter of DRB 0918 that the board approve the application as submitted for Spring Clearwire or Sprint Clearwire to add the additional antennas to the existing branch.
Is there a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Okay. Second item on the agenda is DRB-09-19 Pembroke North at 100, 200, and 300 Ironworks Way for a wall sign on one of the piers out from the building.
Oh, I got it.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Kerry Jackson-Yance. I'm with Firm Architecture. I have Greg Toro with Lynn Wayne Properties with me and my colleague Rebecca Vier.
What firm are you with?
Firm Architecture.
Oh, okay. That's easy.
You like that? We thought, we like it. Clever, but not too clever. Thank you.
That's what makes it clever.
Okay.
So this is a proposal for, it's an existing site wall at the Pembroke North condominium project. Right. And this is just proposing a stainless steel cutout
This is
letters.
the far left pier?
This is the left pier, the one to the far west.
Okay.
So when you come in, it's the one adjacent to the Land Rover dealership.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. So why don't you just tell us about the sign, the height of things, and how high it is, how it's made, the illumination, et cetera?
The sign it's water jet stainless steel, water jet cut stainless steel, 1/4 inch thick. We actually have a sample if you'd like to see it.
Okay.
I think that'll hold up.
What's that?
I think that'll hold up 1/4 inch stainless steel.
You think it'll pretty solid stuff, yeah.
That's the
About
kids.
10,000 years from now, it'll still be there.
That's the middle school kids take it. And,
And look, this is not an accurate representation of the whole sign, but the guy used the laser jet cutting.
Great.
So precise. It'll be pin mounted to the existing cast stone,
Mhm.
approximately 1.5 inches, so
Appears,
it
yeah.
kind of is going to float off a wall a little bit, cast a
Right.
little bit of shadow. We are proposing a strip of LED lights
Mhm.
behind it.
Mhm.
There's a little small shelf located back behind it. The lights are pretty low voltage, pretty low, so it's just enough that it's going to give a little bit of wash behind it
Right?
to help set it off, just to play on the kind of light shadow of the cutout versus the full letters. It's mounted approximately 6'11" off the ground at the top of it, and that's basically to align with the top of the existing opening.
Mm-hmm.
And there's power's already been run out there as part of the construction project.
Right.
So, and there's adequate capacity on the existing circuit, because that was kind of anticipated.
We won't see any conduit or anything like that. It's
No,
all
no
concealed.
conduit, it'll be buried.
Is the strip of lighting going under the solid
Yeah.
part, the 100?
It's going under the base, right.
Right here,
You
okay.
see it, there's a little section
I was
that
looking here,
it's at
okay,
the
great.
very
Like the wall
bottom.
sign.
Thanks, Matt.
So you'll see it through the cutout, and you'll
Great.
get just enough shadow at night that you'll be able to see it,
That'll look
the
nice.
dark letters above.
If you move
I like
it
it.
down, it looks worse, because he's trying to align it, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Carrie, Matt was just pointing out something in the code that says for multifamily residential, that signs have to be below 6'8"?
Yeah, when I read that.
Or 6 feet, yeah.
When I read that, my interpretation of it was as if it was a freestanding sign, and that once it became a wall sign, that
Mhm.
basically the placement on the wall was no longer guided by the height. That was my interpretation of it. And to me, it's kind of what made sense.
Because you're lining up with the.
Because we're
Yeah.
lining up, and it's already a tall wall, so it's not like we're proposing something to go above and beyond something existing, whereas if it was a freestanding sign, I think, of course, it would make sense to
Right.
stick with the 6 feet.
Pardon?
Boxes around what?
I don't think so.
I mean, it's only,
Pop-ups
not
is
that
still
far
not
over,
that
I think the
bad.
alignment is probably.
No, I wouldn't think so, because it is a wall.
Right.
It's just that we're used to considering a wall as a part of the structure,
Right.
and now you've created a wall that's been there for a while now, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it looks nice, and I mean, we always have to tiptoe through things like this, because if we let you do it, then the next
Right.
person comes in, he says he wants it at 8 feet, 10 inches.
Well, look at it as a wall sign.
But this is on a wall.
Right.
Is this the only sign?
It is the only sign, yes.
Because you're not allowed to have more than one sign placed on the premises, isn't it? You don't have any other signs?
There's a
temporary leasing
real estate
or
sign.
a real
At the,
estate.
right at Lancaster. This is.
Right, yeah. And,
Well, plus there's one that directs you to the sales
right.
center.
But we consider those temporary, and the sooner they come down, the better.
Right.
You're right, if freestanding.
Okay,
You're right, you're fine, okay.
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 Great.
The letters are certainly meet the height restrictions. I think it's a nice looking sign. Let me ask you two things. One, obviously these LEDs are rated for outside.
Yes, of course.
Did you think about maybe putting another set of LEDs at the top of the bar that might throw a little more light up on the letters themselves?
Somebody thought of it, I can tell.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. And I think at this point, what we've done since we first considered it was we increased the spacing of these. I think initially we were considering where it was fewer of these, and hoping now that the more intensity is going to cast further up.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I think we don't want it to be overlit,
Okay.
is our main thing.
But I think it would be nice if you
Right.
if Pembroke North got a bit of lighting too.
But if it's behind the letters, then you're gonna see the.
No, I wasn't saying behind the letters. I was saying he's got it at
No, it
the
would have
bottom
to
of the
be on
bar.
the-
I was saying maybe put
Yeah.
another one at the top of the bar or something. But it's up to you guys.
If we have enough space inside, The total 2 9-foot fixtures will take less
Okay.
than 3
I think
amps.
it'll get a lot.
All right.
Yeah, these things are super crazy
And-
low voltage, so.
Yeah, I know. And let me ask you one more
Yep.
question. The color temperature there is pretty cold. Is there a warmer version of?
Yes.
I mean, there are LED
Yes,
warmer
yes,
lights.
you can even see, there's a cut sheet for it, and there's, I think one of them's even called warm white.
And that's not the one you have?
That's not the one we
Okay,
have.
because
No,
given your,
this is,
you know, you have a warm cast stone
Right.
and so forth, I think it would look better.
this was just a sample we could get in time for the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't come out yellow or it come out purple
No,
or like sodium vapor. or
no,
Mercury vapor.
it will not be anything that
Yeah,
extreme,
as long as it's a white light.
right,
See, the warm white, is that what you like?
right. I think that's what we,
Sounds good.
that's what we're
To
anticipating.
me.
actually ask people if you address anything, usually not the whole word.
Just the number, right?
But I think it looks nice. I don't want to second guess anything, but I think it's good. Okay. All right, other comments?
No.
Okay, do we have a motion then?
Oh, no, then I need the whole thing in front of me. All right. DRB 0919, I move that we accept as presented. There were no changes proposed, so I move that we accept your presentation.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, great.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Let me get the warmer lights in the minutes.
Oh,
What, you want to get the warmer lights in?
well, yeah.
Oh, would I? Are you kidding? Yes.
Hold on, does this Max pretty down there?
Does anybody else have a last name with an R?
No, I think that's terrific.
You can make it like a cool, like a necklace.
You know, I'm coming in with my proposed sign change, and I'm thinking this might be the
Wear it
basis
around.
for
It
the
looks
whole
like the
thing.
old Radnor letters that used to be behind us.
Isn't that
Just
cool?
make sure you're wearing steel-toed shoes.
I'm gonna, do you have a big chain? I like that. Thank you. Did you see my eyes light up?
I was thinking, you could put one here too.
Do you have another application pending or something?
You have street frontage here, just throwing it out there. You know,
But that wouldn't be considered more than one sign?
Well, because you can have a sign on each street frontage. You got street right here, you got a street right here. You don't have one down here though, right?
No. No, yeah, there's no other way out.
So you don't have anything down here, right?
So, no.
Just
So
temporary sales
technically,
sign.
by our code, I mean, this is a street right of way right here. So you can do one right here and.
Right at 30.
Because, I mean,
He was the project manager.
Yeah, no, really, it's, you know, so if
I'm sorry,
want
what?
to frame these, put it out there, you could.
Oh.
we'll put them out. Okay, great.
I
All right,
like the
thanks.
sign, looks great.
Matt, is Nick with Brandywine?
Yeah, they're, I mean, like.
Oh, they're there? Okay.
They're in a discussion.
How you doing, Tony? I got no complaints. I
How's
got
Lily
no
going?
complaints.
How's Lily going?
Over.
What is typically playing though still? I just,
That's,
Playoffs.
that's the younger kids.
Playoffs?
The younger kids are going.
where did you, what field did you play?
Thank you, good night.
All right, thanks.
I think, I love Little League.
Nothing wrong with it.
No.
Nothing wrong with
I
it.
hope we beat the Mets tonight. Am I allowed to say that? Yeah. Whoops, we got a lot of people here.
Big guns. There's some legal issues. Hey, oh, you did?
Don't worry.
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay, all right, thanks.
Here, you want to just use one?
Oh, yeah, should we open up our phone? Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is DRB-09-20, KPG Rosemont LP, 240 Radnor Chester Road for an accessory structure. And welcome. And you guys may need to give us a bit of an education. We don't know where you are in this process, what some of the issues are, et cetera. I mean, even predating what you're going to show us, just kind of give us a little heads up here.
I'm
Rich Gottlieb. I'm with Keystone Property Group. We purchased 240 Radnor Road. We renovated completely, and we came in front of this
Right.
board a while back, and that happened. We've now finalized a lease with Mainline Health to move their corporate headquarters in there. As part of that lease, we need to supply them with additional parking, so we need a parking structure. We've previously gone in front of which board? We went zoning. So we got zoning relief to put the structure in the location that we did, which
You got a
we felt was-
variance to go inside the setback.
Exactly. And we all want to do that because the by right area was very visible. This is in the rear of the property, and
Right.
hopefully, it minimizes. They also requested that we do a little bit of landscaping on the front. When you drive up, the part that you'll see initially, and we've had no problem doing that. So now that we've designed the basic structure, we were asked to come in front of you, this board, and make a presentation.
It's across from the high school. It's the building, the old, next to the bank. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and so you're here presenting the actual design. So why don't we go through the design first? Just walk us through it if you would.
Okay. Yeah. Ed Rami, architect with Timothy Haas and Associates. I'm now on page 1 of 3 of the civil engineering drawings. It's actually the second page in the set, showing the site plan.
I have one of one, and then we have
Yeah.
an A2.1 and some electrical drawings.
Are there smaller drawings?
We have one of one.
This
Is
is
it?
it.
Okay.
Okay. So it's behind the building. There's currently surface parking there,
Correct.
and you're adding another level,
We are adding one
one level above.
precast concrete structure, maintaining the asphalt surface level below.
Okay. And I'm coming into that upper level, where on the right side here?
You're coming in from the east
Okay,
in that last or northernmost bay of parking.
okay,
You're coming up a ramp that is screened from the road mildly with plantings. And the upper level is not covered, open to the sky.
Is that the entrance and exit?
Correct.
okay. And it's an open-air structure on top,
Correct.
glass canopy or something over the,
Open parking structure, both levels. We meet ventilation and perimeter openness requirements. The small, in the rendering on the cover sheet up on the screen, you're seeing a small shelter over top the stairs just to protect them from weather, snow, rain, etc.
and where are the stairs in plan?
In the southeast corner.
Oh, I see it. They're on the rendering, right?
Oh, okay, south,
Yeah.
south.
That's why.
Oh,
Stairs are here. So what that comes in here. This must be the little
Sure.
strip that's available for
You're
planting.
actually right in here.
So it's kind of northwest.
Is this inappropriate? The stair is here.
All right,
You can see it right here.
so that's the corner right there.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And
And the,
there's this wall.
you're saying it's precast?
Precast concrete, finished quality, architectural quality precast, using combination of reveals and sandblasting, just to avoid that kind of monolithic patchy look to the concrete.
And do you have a sample of that at all?
We do not. We do have photographs.
Upsampled.
Is it meant to match the precast on the building? Is that precast on the building, those bands? No? What were they?
Which one am I looking at?
Ephes?
Both? Are they used for different uses?
Correct.
Okay.
A combination of the two different blasts.
Oh, the answer you can.
Okay,
Is the represent combination of the different blasting depths.
okay.
Ed, while you're up here, see this wall? Where do we sit in relation to that wall?
You're just south of that wall.
Okay,
That wall is remaining.
okay.
Okay.
I mean, none of this is visible from Radnor Road.
Barely. The ramp area will be, and a corner from certain angles, a corner of the precast structure will be visible.
But it's pretty far set.
Right. It is. The intention was to keep it as invisible from the road as possible.
The plant material selected for here?
Yes, but I'm going to claim a little bit of ignorance to the type of plant and the species, but I know that there are certain species. The heights in the rendering, the heights and the rough forms of the plant material reflect the different shrubs that are selected. The intention is that they're evergreen so that they maintain fullness throughout the course of the year.
Was this all done by right within the zoning code?
No, it's a variance because it's on the property line. It's on Brandywine's property line along the rear.
Yeah, go ahead and handle that one. Real fast. That's why I'm here. What happened was, if you look here, we could have put, pardon?
Who are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Nick Cornelia. I'm the attorney.
And are you representing?
I'm
Brandywine?
representing Keystone. Okay.
Oh, Keystone, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not representing.
Oh, you're sitting with Tony, I didn't.
Well, let's not get into that, particularly on TV. I don't want to get into this one.
Hi, Nick.
By right, we could have put it in this area here, but obviously we wouldn't have put it there because it's visible from Radnor Chester, so we did have to get a variance for setbacks from Brandywine. So it's behind this building. So we did get variances there.
Okay. So now, what is Brandywine's position on this? Tony, do you want to speak to that, or Nick?
I think they resolved it. I think Rich and Tony kind of resolved it. Tony, maybe you can speak to it.
Yeah, I can speak to it. Tony Zaccardi, Vice President of Brandywine Realty Trust. We're the adjoining landowners, as most of you know. We own the Radnor Financial Center, which is directly behind the 240 building on a portion of the property. We had a couple concerns, but I think Rich and I have relieved those issues under the guidance of working together on this project. We have no problem with the garage going in. It is against the property line, and we recognize that, but that's what happens in sometimes when you have to do development of this nature. So there's not a problem that way. We're working on more some screening issues that can be done, and most likely it will be some kind of a trellis type of thing with some kind of ivy or something growing on it, because there's less than 1.5 feet of land between the elevated parking lot of our parking lot and the garage. So there's not much you can do in there.
Is the garage right up against that wall that I asked?
Pretty close,
okay.
about 1.5 feet
So
away.
their parking place is under that?
Correct.
Yes? Yeah, okay.
And we're in the intermediate level. Our parking level is on the
Right,
intermediate.
you're just a little bit higher
right.
than the parking garage above
So it
that.
looks like we'll be able to add some kind of, not a continuous trellis, but something that, broken up to just break up the monotony of that concrete right up against the thing there.
Okay.
And will that be okay if plant material grows up against that material?
That's his
Like,
problem, not mine.
There was extensive negotiation and discussion just before the meeting. One of the concerns is obviously that the plant material would bed itself in the concrete.
Sure.
We talked about using a screen, more of a green screen type of system that would hold the plant material off the concrete. So we'd maintain the integrity of the concrete through the years.
Okay.
Great.
And then also, Tony, your letter mentions rooftop equipment or roof. Is there equipment on the upper level of the garage?
I think this is regarding the equipment on the existing building.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no equipment.
I think with this screening, it's not an issue anymore.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So this letter, everything's been resolved?
Yeah, we
Great.
also agreed to put, between ourselves, on their land, we're going to plant some additional evergreen trees in the corner. What corner would that be?
The northwest corner, over here.
So that which is the vacant property that they own, so when they develop it, it'll be screened as well, the parking garage.
Okay.
I guess you have to memorialize this between you, put it in the document, and come back before us.
No, well, put it this way. It seems to me the township's interest is approving the garage and probably clearly what's a better location than the right-hand side of the building. And if it's not going to be seen, and if Brandywine's okay with it.
But it's a moving target, it's still a moving target.
As far as I'm concerned, the garage is not a moving target. If we approve it, it's
Sounds
not
like
a
it's
moving
settled.
target, and if they can satisfy them, really, it's between them.
Matt, are there plant materials? I know there are a list of plant materials in the Wayne Business District, but for something like this, does the township make any suggestions or need to know what plant material to be used?
No, I mean, we have it in land development, but they didn't come through land development, and, no, we don't really have any particular say in that, if we're willing to work with them. In some cases, we have a township consultant, a landscaping consultant we work with, Mara Baird, but in this case, I don't believe it's necessary.
Right.
Unless you feel you have specific species or types that you would like to see, but we don't.
Yeah, I want these ones, no, the ones you have in the picture here, I like those.
They're lovely, aren't they?
They look like arborvitae to me. No, but there are plant materials that be more appropriate than others, and I'm sure you'll have someone put them in who knows what they're doing and selects something that's appropriate.
The intention is to have something that maintains its foliage through the year.
Like arborvitae, like
And-
the typical evergreens, yeah, but not white pine, but yeah.
Well, it's going to take shade too, because it's going to be up against that north-facing wall. These, not the
Let's
trellis
see.
part.
The ones on the corner.
Those are on the south. You're talking about the trellis on the north face?
No, these are on the north.
No,
No, those are along the south face.
No?
in the picture?
This is facing Radnor Chester Road. These are these right here, right?
Right, north, ooh, we have a contact.
Oh. Oh, you're right. Aye, okay. Like the guys in my office never put the north arrow in the right direction. Okay. All right, you're right. I'm sorry.
The north arrow is wrong?
Wet.
I'm not sure if it's wrong.
So it would be the opposite. No, you're right.
They're
You're correct.
in
That
good
is north.
position. They'll be protected, I think, by the,
So your
Yeah.
green screen planting has to take shade.
Yes, I think north is actually out.
You're right, you're right. Okay. All right. You can blame it on the civil engineer. Okay.
what is, the north arrow is wrong.
Blame the civil engineer after the groundwork is done.
There you go.
Yeah.
But do you feel comfortable with that? Letting them work it out
Yeah,
without coming back to us?
as long as they're not in dispute and we approve dispute, that's fine.
We approve dispute.
Well, we approve
Okay.
as long as we're not approving dispute, that's all. It's up to you, Chair.
You okay? No, it's not. We're just
Yeah.
approving what
Well,
they're
would be-
presenting.
What would stand in the way of our approving this right now? It looks
That we
like-
would want to see maybe the green screen, or we would want to see some legal document that,
I'd like to know that you're going to go through with that, but it's not where we're going to see it. It's really where they're going to see it. And
That's-
haven't we, isn't that a part of, when it's interior and not going to be viewed by the public, it's not really our concern, it's
that's,
a concern of the public.
that's why we've generally done
Yeah,
things.
so,
Or you could attach it to the letter dated April 8th to myself with number 1.
I'm sorry, Matt, say that again?
There's a letter, number 1, that states that, Brandywine Realty Trust requested evergreen landscape in the 8 to 10-foot range be planted on any remaining land in our adjoining property to buffer impact. You want to just tie it to the letter? Would you guys be
Is that
comfortable
what
with
we're
that?
doing? But is that, Tony, is that, it's going to be something different, isn't it?
Well, technically, it does cover the screen mentality because it is the buffering land, but, I mean, evergreen and species are different than
Right.
a ground cover like an ivy that would grow up over the.
Unless you just want to put that in there as may be determined by Keystone and Brandywine.
Yeah, that's,
You want to do it that way, and you guys just,
Mutual agreement.
yeah, mutual agreement to Keystone and Brandywine, yeah.
Okay. I mean, I feel comfortable not coming back and
Jim,
saying.
Yeah, I think
this
it's-
is not a feud issue, okay? I mean, if we fail to reach an agreement, you better believe I'm going to be in Matt's
Oh, yeah.
face.
Sure.
And then,
Right.
poor Nick will have to recuse himself because he's in conflict with all of this.
Okay.
But, that's.
I don't think there's
we're not-
anything to stand in the way of us
Right.
approving it.
We want them to get their
Yeah.
approval to be able to do this thing and make it all work. So, I mean, that's the bottom line.
Okay. All right. Then do we have a motion?
Okay, I approve that, I always have to find the, what's the DRB number? I give somebody my- I move that we approve DRB 0920 KPG Rosemont LP for the parking garage and the screening as determined between the two parties.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Wow.
Very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take dinner.
That's right. Okay, do we have any more business for the board? All right, somebody want to move we adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, so be it.
No, I need to read it.